The announcement, shaking their life, carries your name in it. You were the reason they changed. Heaven noticed first. This breaking news isn't random. You're the root of it. A door opened because your name was whispered on the other side. The shift in their life began with your absence. The storm arrived after they mishandled your grace. You walked away, and everything they touched fell apart. Their peace collapsed the moment you stopped praying. That phone call, they'll mention your name with trembling lips. You were their divine assignment. They failed the test. This sudden breakthrough, it's your tears returning as reward. God told them to honor you. They chose ego. The tables flipped the moment you chose yourself. They mocked your softness. Now they beg for mercy. They lost you in silence. Now your name is thunder. That opportunity came because you dared to stay faithful. Their downfall is not your fault, but your absence was the warning. Your name is rising in places you've never entered. The news is loud because your obedience was quiet. You sowed in tears. Heaven is broadcasting your harvest. The exposure they feared, it's tied to what they did to you. Their life shook the moment you forgave them. Someone's praying because of how you loved them. They broke you privately. Now you're rising publicly. That miracle, they'll trace it back to your presence. The storm didn't come to you. It came through you. God is shaking kingdoms because you wouldn't stay silent. The divine shift happened the moment you left. They heard your name and felt the weight of regret. This change isn't random. It carries your spiritual DNA. They received warning dreams with your face in them. You were the key. They fumbled you. Their celebration was delayed because of how they dishonored you. Your silence was prophecy. This announcement carries your energy in its roots. You became the reason someone finally told the truth. The blessing is echoing because of the battle you endured. You said nothing. Heaven said everything. Their judgment began when they touched your name in gossip. A door just opened for someone who loved you right. That emergency, it's karma wrapped in divine timing. You will never hear the full story, but you're in all of it. That breakthrough in your family line started when you said no more. They didn't realize you were the oil in the room. The message reaching them now was written in your prayers. The shift is sudden, but so was your surrender. Your healing triggered someone else's awakening. They'll finally admit you were the turning point. The justice that's coming, it has your breath in it. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. That broadcast? It was born in your brokenness. The headlines echo the warning your spirit already whispered. They denied you. Now they define their life by your absence. The divine announcement? You're the reason it's urgent. The world shifted the moment you stopped begging. You were the sacrifice. Now you're the signal. The delay ended when your soul aligned. Your obedience woke up a prophecy in someone else's life. The news isn't new to God. He wrote it with you in mind. They felt it coming the moment they betrayed you. The announcement brings their knees to the floor. You were the catalyst. Heaven speaks loudly when you choose not to. The blessing was paused. You were the missing piece. Your absence turned into their awakening. Someone's miracle began when you said, I forgive. This shift is the echo of your endurance. You don't even know how many doors opened because you stayed pure. You didn't need revenge. This was always coming. They lost your presence. Now everything feels haunted. The divine message they feared is finally arriving with your name attached. They read the news. Their hands shook at the memory of you. This headline is divine handwriting. You were too holy to stay invisible forever. Their curses couldn't cancel your calling. God delayed the announcement until your spirit healed. The prophecy is public. Your pain was private. Your loyalty triggered judgment in their life. What they hid is being exposed because your name holds fire. Their success cracked because it was built on your silence. This news comes wrapped in the tears you cried alone. They lost their favor the moment they lied on your name. Someone is weeping over a choice they made involving you. The message they never wanted to hear starts with your name. You didn't need to explain. God sent a message louder. A nation trembles because a child of God kept their vow. They'll say it started with them, and they'll mean you. The shift in the atmosphere, it follows your footsteps. This judgment carries your fingerprints. They chose the crowd. Now they crave your covering. You gave mercy. Heaven gave consequence. Your compassion saved them longer than they'll ever admit. The betrayal triggered a response in heaven. The same mouth that denied you now whispers your name in fear. You are the plot twist they didn't expect. They'll never forget the day you walked away and heaven walked in. That announcement feels sudden, but heaven planned it with your heart in mind. You were mocked, now mentioned with reverence. You left, and the covering left with you. This news is heavy because your absence made space for truth. Your pain will never be louder than your purpose. They prayed for peace, but ignored your presence. Your breakthrough is the backstory to someone's fall. They wanted you silent. Heaven wanted you seen. This victory smells like every time you chose stillness over spite. Their fear is tied to what they did with your name. They touched your destiny like it was common. The announcement makes sense in heaven's language. What they said in secret is being shouted publicly. Your name is inked on the scroll of divine timing. God waited until you stopped looking back. You are the reason some plans were paused. They couldn't replace you, so the system fell apart. This announcement is your confirmation in disguise. They thought you were weak. Now their walls are shaking. You made no threats. Heaven did. They won't admit it, but their heart broke when they heard your name again. The news arrived after your silence turned sacred. You didn't ask for this vindication, but it still came. You aren't the drama. You're the divine thread holding the truth together. You were the secret seed. Now comes the harvest. Their confusion began when your clarity increased. This message is your closure in disguise. The shift in their world started with your yes to God. The news is loud. Your role was invisible but pivotal. They lost peace when they lost access to you. You weren't extra. You were essential. This announcement carries your essence in every line. What they thought they buried is now breaking ground. They'll never say it, but they feel the consequence of losing you. You were the prophecy they didn't believe until it spoke. This wasn't revenge. This was divine alignment. Their breakthrough was delayed until they acknowledged your sacrifice. You were the whisper that became a wave. The report is coming, and it starts with you were right. This time, the truth doesn't need defending. It just needs revealing. You wept quietly. Now the world listens loudly. What they built on lies is crumbling under your absence. The angel was a sign the moment you let go. Their pride wrote a check. Your grace paid the price. The news breaking their world? It started with how they broke you. This shift in air, your soul caused it. God moved mountains in silence because of the tears you never told anyone about. They lost favor the moment they lost you. You weren't loud, but heaven heard everything. Your love was the covering. Now their house is shaking. What's coming will echo your name in every corner they forgot you. Their storm arrived the day you walked away. You were their mercy. They confused it for weakness. The news is heavy because your heart carried too much in silence. That downfall was scheduled the moment they mocked your healing. You were the prayer. They were the test. You broke no one, but your absence broke their illusion. This divine warning carries your name sealed in fire. They won't admit it, but they're trembling because of what they did to you. The shift isn't random. It's justice in motion. Their apology will arrive too late, but not unheard. You're not in the room, but your spirit is shouting. The silence after you left became their loudest lesson. This message is your vindication without violence. God didn't forget. He just waited for the right hour. You wept in private. Heaven recorded every tear. What they covered in lies is rising in truth. The news breaking their pride is built on your pain. They told the story wrong. Now heaven is correcting it. Your name will be spoken in rooms meant to erase you. They underestimated the power of a pure heart. You never cursed them, but now they live under the weight of your absence. What you released is now returning as revelation. They couldn't replace you, so they rewrote you. Truth is rewriting back. The news coming isn't punishment, it's prophecy. They didn't realize how loud your silence would become. You were the oil. Now their lamp has gone out. Their tower is falling. Your name is the wind. They sowed betrayal. Now the harvest is public. You carried them in love. They returned it in ego. This isn't karma. It's kingdom justice. You left the room, and heaven entered it. The news is coming, not to hurt you, but to heal you. They're haunted by a love they once had for free. You didn't need revenge. God gave you revelation. Their world is unraveling around the memory of your goodness. You were a door they closed. Now they live in locked rooms. The tables turn the second you chose peace. Your forgiveness triggered their exposure. God is making an announcement with your name stitched in light. What's collapsing now once stood on your stolen strength. Their peace cracked when you stopped praying for them. You were the divine pause in their chaos. Now, chaos continues. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. This news will arrive like thunder, but only you'll know why. They are not cursed. They're just no longer covered by your grace. You didn't wish for this storm. You walked away. That was enough. Heaven is delivering a message in the voice they ignored. They're hearing from God now because they refused to hear you. The blessing broke when they mishandled the blessing bearer. You left the ashes. God lit the fire. What they couldn't see then is now written in headlines. You don't need closure. This is confirmation. The news is divine handwriting in bold print. That warning dream they had, it started with your name. The shift was subtle until the shaking started. This message wasn't created. It was awakened. They cried out for mercy after burying the messenger. The voice of God is loudest in the fallout. They tried to delete your presence. Now your impact is viral. You never needed revenge. God called angels to speak instead. Their downfall began with one disrespect to your spirit. The truth had a timeline. It just matured in silence. You were holy ground they treated like gravel. Your absence became their consequence. You are the reason their plans are paused. This announcement doesn't expose you. It elevates you. You were the unspoken intercession. Now you are the undeniable echo. Their darkness met your light and cracked. The headlines don't mention your name, but your energy built them. This message has your spiritual signature. You broke cycles by simply surviving them. God sent the news because your spirit whispered, enough. You didn't raise your voice, but you raised the vibration. They felt the shift the moment you stopped replying. That announcement, it's not random. It's a reckoning. You were the root of every breakthrough they mistook as theirs. You asked for peace. They gave chaos. God gave news. The world is watching what your silence birthed. You were the fire. They danced like it was a candle. You never got credit. So God wrote you into the ending. The message is clear. Don't mishandle the chosen. They couldn't handle your silence. Now they can't handle your story. Your tears triggered a timeline only heaven knew. They felt untouchable until the covering left. This news is your harvest for the hurt. You weren't forgotten. You were fortified. God is releasing justice in frequencies only the broken understand. They'll recognize you, not by your face, but by the shift. Your pain rewrote their prophecy. The announcement will be brief, but the impact is eternal. They didn't lose you. They lost the version of themselves you awakened. Their false peace is crumbling under the truth of your name. You are not the villain. You are the voice. That text they're scared to receive? It carries your echo. You weren't the mistake. You were the message. They'll hear the news and remember every ignored warning. What they feared is arriving because you rose. You were the test they weren't ready for. This is your answer, not their apology. The universe rearranged because you finally let go. The storm isn't your fault. It's their pattern unraveling. They traded grace for gossip. Now grace has left the room. You were the miracle they mishandled. Their pride stood on your mercy. Now it collapses. You gave light. They chose shadow. Now the truth is noon. They buried you in silence. God raised you in headlines. You carried their healing. They chose your hurt. This news didn't come to you. It came through you. You weren't broken. You were the breaker of generational noise. Your spirit sent a warning they ignored. You didn't leave them. Their choices walked you out. This announcement is the echo of what you carried quietly. You chose growth. They chose games. God chose justice. You are why the system is shifting. Their betrayal had a timeline. Today it's been fulfilled. They'll hear your name and remember who they became when they lost you. You didn't block them. God did. They thought you were optional. Now their foundation is gone. You didn't just leave. You unhooked the blessings from their life. The news is holy thunder. You were their lighthouse. Now they are lost. They mistook your silence for defeat. God made it divine announcement. This moment isn't for revenge. It's for revelation. You're not their consequence. You're their catalyst. The breaking came because your spirit cried no more. You walked away. The angels walked in. The message they feared has arrived. Your softness was sacred. They treated it like sin. You didn't ruin them. Truth did. You aren't mentioned in the news, but heaven knows. You'll see the news and know why it had to happen. This message is wrapped in your silence, crowned in your scars. You were never weak. You were warfare in disguise.